Okay, I got the Phil Jones CUB Pro. Just wanted to let you guys know how easy this is when I get ready to go to a show. Okay, there it is sitting on a cabinet. All I have to do is disconnect it. Let's put it right over here on the table. There it goes. Put the cover on it. Okay, that's it with the cover on it. And now we're going to go to my car. Okay, those who don't know, I have a Mustang. Open up the trunk. Here's my little gym bag. Here's the amplifier. And fits right in. Plenty of room. And I even got more room for other stuff. Hi. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, so we're going to be doing the Phil Jones. This is going to be the CUB Pro. Okay, so this combo amp, it's going to be 120 watts at 4 ohms, and it's going to be 240 watts RMS at 4 ohms. So if you wanted to add an extension cab, then you're going to get the full power of what this is able to do. A couple things right off of the bat is it has a little bit of weight to it. It's about 15, almost 16 pounds. It is, for what it does, it is very small, very compact, and very powerful. This is not your regular practice amp or live gig or jam session amp. Okay, so on the corners you got the heavy reinforced, you got a nice almost like a leather feel on the covers. You got the rubber feet on the bottom. You also have a latch right here, so if you want to kick up and put this at an angle on the floor, you can. You're going to lose a little bit of the bass frequency, but if you want to hear it better, or if you want to put this on top of somebody else's cab, like if somebody's already backlined, then you can just prop this guy right on top of it. There is also feet on the sides, so you can sit it vertical or you can sit it horizontal. On the top here, you got your input. You have mute, active, and then passive. So you can select them depending on what bass you're using, or if you just want to mute it. You have low bass, high bass, low mid, high mid, and treble. Okay. Going along with the rest of the bottom, you're going to have your auxiliary volume for whatever you plug in. So your if you were playing some music through your cell phone or another device, then you can do it that way. Your master volume is going to be right here, and this is going to be a headphone jack. So definitely pushes the practice aspect of it. But let me go ahead and show you the rest of this here. So up here, you're going to have your dry and your wet for your mix. You're going to have your FX return, your FX send, and this is going to be your input volume. So what I like about the way this is all set up, you might not be able to see it on here. Let me get it a little closer. But they have the little white lines to show you what is going to what. So it's not complicated. Anybody can figure this out. So you can plug it in, determine what bass it is, and choose how much input you want for your sound. Over here, you can get your headphones and then choose how much volume you want for the speakers. And then that should cover it for this part of it. Let me turn it to the back. Now to the back. This is going to be, if you want to freeze it right there, just so you can kind of look over it. Okay, so here you're going to have your lift and your ground for your DI out. You're going to have your earbox connector right here. It has its own connector, which is awesome. And we're going to go over that in just a second. Okay, and then next we got the extension cab down here. So this, you can do 8 to 16 ohm. So it gives you a lot more options. So if you want to add like the 4C or another C2 on the bottom of this, it'll make it a pretty nice setup. Not that it's already nice to begin with. You also have a, this is going to be your line out. So if you're going to be doing some recording, your power is going to be right here. Your voltage selector is going to be under this plastic thing. And then your power supply. So, and then your power supply is 100 to 120 volts. Pretty great setup. And the reason why I say that, and let me put this over here for right now. And the dimensions, it's 12 inches by 11 inches by 7.8 inches. So about 16 pounds, and you can get it in red or black. Now, this is pretty good. You do have some options with that. But I was also thinking about the setup on this thing. Now, this is kind of where certain companies do stuff intentionally and not intentionally. Okay, so what I mean by that, like a musician individually, there are certain things that you can do that allow you to stretch the actions that you can do on certain things. For instance, you know, this guy right here, we were talking about the CUB Pro. Let's say you're going to a gig. Okay, I have my bass in one hand, I have this in the other. It's going to be a medium-sized gig. Okay, so we're looking at a decent-sized stage and stuff like that. There's already people that have backline, so I can put this guy right here on top of somebody else's backline, or I could put it on the floor, prop it up, and just have it face me directly, just like a regular floor monitor. So, and then I just run the line out into the PA guy and just tell him what channel, or he picks whatever channel and adjusts it from there. Now, another good thing about this is the earbox. Now, the earbox, from what they're saying, doesn't really change any of the sound or anything like that. It goes on top of a mic stand. And it's usually meant to get rid of the latency between where your cab is and where you're hearing it and when you're playing. That's fine. Let's say you're on a smaller stage. You can have this on the ground. You can have about a 15-foot, 20-foot cable. If you can hear yourself just fine and the PA already has a monitor facing you, then you can use your earbox to send it over to and put it next to the drummer if he's having a harder time listening to you in particular. So sometimes it all depends on the sound guy. When you're playing live, the sound guy is basically who you live and die by. Unfortunately, well, fortunately and unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword. You're going to have good shows and bad shows. But the more that you do to remediate and be active and proactive in not having a bad show, the less you can say, hey, you know what, you can't blame the sound guy all the time if you're always showing up with just like half your stuff or maybe whatever. But I do like the idea of the earbox, especially with something like this, because that means instead of having like a really big cab, a really big amplifier, and bringing all that stuff over, that justifies something like this even more. Because the things that you can add to this and less stuff you have to carry is way better. So you have a really good head in here. It's really clean. It's really sharp. It's digital and it sounds amazing. It definitely, if you get a chance at a Guitar Center or wherever, try it out because it's going to knock your socks off. It has tons of punch on it. If you add a cab under it, like I'm going to show some examples before that I'm going to add it to the Ampeg 15 that I have, and it has some bass to it. But But something like this is a lot easier to maintain. It's a lot easier to take around with you, and it's got plenty of power. It's got plenty of frequency range, and it's a cleaner tone. So the sound guy's going to appreciate it a lot more than bringing some old, you know, Ampeg from the 1980s that's buzzing and clips out every once in a while. So this thing is a lot more stable. It's got a lot of punch to it. It's very clean, and the weight is amazing, and it fits in the back of my car. I don't have to worry about changing vehicles. I don't have to worry about, you know, getting the drummer with the truck over here so I can put my 810 in the back of the cab. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Take this. If I want to bring another cab, I can. If not, I'll just bring this and use it as a floor monitor and run to a PA system. That's it. I don't have to worry about lugging around a 410, a 15, an 810. You know, the sky's the limit when it comes to basses or bass amps. The days of hauling an 810 up a flight of stairs is over. So, yeah, it's nice to have them, but you're going to need your band to help you get that thing up a flight of stairs. You know, most shows aren't very practical, and they definitely were not built according to what cabs you have. So bring something like this with you. You're set, you're ready to go, and you're going to sound awesome. That's it. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and subscribe. Send me a comment. And I know I didn't really do too much playing right off the bat, but there are going to be multiple videos about this. So while I'm discovering more stuff, I'm going to keep on posting. All right. All right. Have fun and keep playing bass and keep having a great time.